Welcome to Moments Almanac on Scattered Moments. Today is August 15th, and on this day in 1962, Martin Luther King Jr. walked through the smoking ruins of Shady Grove Baptist Church in Lee County, Georgia. Shady Grove had stood there since the late 1870s, founded by freedmen who purchased the land themselves not long after emancipation. By the summer of 1962, the small congregation had begun serving a new and dangerous kind of Sunday business, voter registration clinics run by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. The night before King arrived, someone set the sanctuary on fire. By morning, only 3 of its 4 cinder block walls remained standing. Local officials moved quickly to call it faulty wiring, but the FBI disagreed. In October, 2 white men were charged with the crime, though a grand jury never indicted them. And Shady Grove was only the first of 8 black churches burned across southwest Georgia that same season. King walked through the wreckage alongside fellow ministers Ralph Abernathy and Wyatt T. Walker, and stood for a long while, even as the smoke was still rising from the ash. He later wrote that tears welled up in his heart and his eyes as he surveyed the shambles of what had been Shady Grove Baptist Church in Leesburg, Georgia. King titled his account of that morning "The Terrible Cost of the Ballot," and in Lee County, that cost was plain. To simply attempt to register and vote was, in his words, tantamount to inviting death. And Jackie Robinson, hearing of the burnings, became the honorary head of the fundraising drive to rebuild Shady Grove and other churches lost that season. Within a year, the congregation was building again, with King present at the groundbreaking. And on that same date on the calendar, August 15th, but in 1947, a very different kind of political birth was underway on the other side of the world. India and Pakistan became independent nations after nearly 2 centuries of British rule. It came after decades of resistance led in large part by Gandhi. A campaign built on the conviction King himself would later carry to Lee County, that a people's voice and self-rule were not something to be granted at another power's convenience. Independence for the subcontinent arrived as a legal transfer, negotiated, signed, and recognized by watching nations. Freedom for the members of Shady Grove Baptist Church traveled a slower and costlier road, contested 1 registration form and 1 unindicted arsonist at a time. 2 peoples on the same date on the calendar, confronting very different histories, but reaching toward a common longing, a voice in how they would be governed. Centuries before either of these August 15ths, the prophet Amos cried, "But let justice flow like water, and righteousness like an unfailing stream." King returned to those words again and again because he believed justice was not merely an idea to admire, but something God intended to move through the world. Shady Grove rose again from the ashes, but the sanctuary was rebuilt long before every wrong was made right. And maybe that is where some of us are living today, in the space between the ashes and the answer. Whatever ruin you are standing in this morning, whatever cost your convictions have asked of you, take heart. Ashes are not the end of the story. The river is still running. And that's Moments Almanac for today, August 15th. I hope you'll join me tomorrow. Until then, take heart, notice the scattered moments, and share the grace.